Hello and welcome to the semifinals here at Grand Prix Pittsburgh. Maria Bartholdi in the booth, joined by Andrew Brown. Jack Kiefer versus Bram Thomas here in our semis. White Blue God Pharaoh's Gift versus Mono Red Aggro. And we are starting things off with two 1-drops here. Which deck do you think has the edge?
Given that Bram Thomas was the first seed in the tournament and he is on the play, I definitely think he has a slight advantage over Jack here, but I definitely love the snap call.
Nice, really great block. No fear here from Jack Kiefer.
Yeah, you know, it's a great block. You know, if Bram actually wants to use a spell on this Minister of Inquiries, Jack's totally just going to let him because...
Yeah, why not?
Exactly.
All right, so there is a chart, of course, Angel of Invention into the yard for Kiefer. Chart, of course, one of the ways that White-Blue God Pharaoh's Gift gets everything online and ready to go. Goblin Chain Whirler here hitting the table for Bram. In for one with the Soul Scar Mage. It's going to leave a -1/-1 counter on that Minister as well, thanks to the Mage.
Yeah, very strong interaction there with Soul Scar Mage and Goblin Chain Whirler being able to put a -1/-1 counter on each creature your opponent controls.
All right, we're going to mill ourselves a little bit here for Jack Kiefer, putting a Sunscourge Champion into the bin.
Yeah, very fortunate mill there because Jack really just wants to kind of reanimate that Sunscourge Champion because it's just bigger than Bram's entire forces.
All right, third mana in play here for Kiefer, who, by the way, if he won this tournament, would be the youngest Grand Prix champion ever by 1 week.
Yeah, I believe Clay Spickelmeyer is the current youngest GP champion. He is 16 years old and 2 weeks. And how old is Jack, Maria?
16 years old and 1 week.
He's got a distinct advantage.
So we'll see if Jack Kiefer can make history here at this Grand Prix. There's a look at him. They're always a very calm, cool, and collected player. And there's a look at Bram Thomas on Mono Red Aggro. Yeah,
Bram's deck really probably some of the lowest to the ground red deck you can get. So these cards like Sunscourge Champion, which are normally kind of ineffective against the bigger builds of the red, going to be extra effective here.
Chain Whirler attack here and a block and a mill from Jack Kiefer, who's going to save himself some damage and get another creature into the yard there. Champion of Wit still in play.
Yeah, from the looks of it, I think Bram definitely has an Abrade in his hand, but Jack doesn't actually have a Refurbish in hand either, so they're both going to kind of just stare at each other for a while here.
Okay, okay. All right, we are just going to eternalize the Sunscourge Champion, which is going to come back bigger and badder and gain some life as well.
Yeah, I definitely like this play from Jack. You know, he's using his resources from the graveyard and his hand very effectively, and he's going to go to a healthy 22 here.
So this champion, just excellent versus a red deck. And we mentioned, you know, how dangerous it is for God Pharaoh's Gift in a world of Abrades, but pretty dangerous in a world full of Sunscourge champions for mono red.
Yeah, exactly. And it's possible that Bram might just have gotten like paralysis of the turn 4 refurbish and didn't play anything proactive so that he could abrade the God Pharaoh's Gift if it actually had come down.
Yeah, and I do see an abrade lurking in the hand of Thomas.
Yeah, his hand looks pretty nice from what I can see. He's got a Hazoret and an abrade here, both cards that he really wants to play.
Soul Scar Mage is going to be the leading play here for Thomas. And it's kind of an interesting question as well as to, are you just always holding up that abrade?
Yeah, and again, it looks like he's just not gonna cast that Hazoret.
Yep, no attacks to that 4/4 champion, holding back the team from Thomas.
Yeah, so if I'm Jack here, it seems pretty clear that Bram actually does have an abrade, so I'm not really incentivized to actually try and go for this refurbish, and instead I'm most likely to just go for another Eternalize on this Sunscourge Champion.
Yeah, why not? Very little in the ways to punish you for doing that. We're going to start things off here. Search for Azcanta for Kiefer.
You know, this play makes a lot of sense to me as well because Jack has more than 7 cards in his graveyard, and if he actually draws a land, he'll transform it and be able to just play his 7th land to just naturally cast that God Pharaoh's Gift.
Search for Azcanta being a big card in a lot of decks this weekend. And here we go. Hazoret the Fervent in play for Thomas. And there's an Abrade, putting 3 -1/-1 counters on the champion. Okay, we are getting aggressive here. In comes the team for Thomas. Champion here looking to block that Hazoret, save some life. Kiefer going to take a hit, but he's got to be happy to see that Abrade come out of Thomas's hand.
Yeah, definitely. This window is allowing him to actually just be able to either cast the God Pharaoh's Gift or cast a Refurbish and target the God Pharaoh's Gift in his graveyard and attack with an Angel.
All right, and there's a transformed Search for Azcanta into Azcanta the Sunken Rune. Here is 4, here's Refurbish. God Pharaoh's Gift comes back from the graveyard, and this is the window of opportunity that Jack Kiefer needed. Angel of Invention comes back. He's going to get some servos with it as well, and this cannot be good for Thomas.
Yeah, this is going to be a really crucial 8-point life swing for Jack Kiefer here. You know, Bram was kind of sandbagging that Abrade. He might not have wanted to use it on this turn because this is the window that Jack Kiefer needed.
Yeah, he might have read Kiefer wrong and thought, you know what, he doesn't have the Refurbish. He would have done it the other turn. But he had it. All right, so how does Thomas dig himself out from this hole now?
Well, I think he needs to start by drawing an Abrade or having another Braid for this God Pharaoh's Gift.
Sure enough, he had the second one, and there's an on-crop Crasher as well to join the team. In swings everybody here for Thomas.
Yeah,
Angel
this is a pretty big chunk of damage here. And keep in mind all those creatures getting +1/+1 due to the Angel of Invention.
All right, so an exert on the on-crop Crasher says the Angel can't block. We're going to throw a bunch of creatures in front of Thomas's creatures here. Save ourselves some life. Down goes a bit of the board.
Yeah, and Jack has a pretty interesting decision here. He can try to cycle his cast out to draw another land so he can just hard cast that God Pharaoh's Gift.
There it was. Land off of the cast out.
Yeah, and I think this is just curtains for Bram Thomas. This
Boom.
second God Pharaoh's Gift going to bring back another Angel.
And yeah, Bram Thomas sees the writing on the wall, scoops him up. That is game 1 of the semifinals going to Jack Kiefer and white-blue God Pharaoh's Gift. Yeah, sometimes you don't need the Refurbish. Sometimes you just cast God Pharaoh's Gift for 7.
Yeah, I really like how Jack ended up playing that game. You know, flipping that Azcanta to get that last crucial 7th mana to actually just hard cast the other God Pharaoh's Gift in his hand. Really smart.
All right, so moving into sideboarding, what tools does Thomas have to be able to bring in to further deal with Kiefer's plan?
Well, he for starters, he has that 4th Abrade in his sideboard, which is going to be pretty key.
All right, that snap coming in.
Yeah. So other cards I can see coming in are Magma Spray and Scavenger Grounds, actually. Magma Spray going to be pretty crucial with exiling these Champion of Wits, which is pretty nice, and the Scavenger Grounds just being a one-shot kind of Tormod's Crypt effect, totally rendering that God Pharaoh's Gift useless.
Yeah, the exile effect off of the Magma Spray, super important here. I mean, is he looking to kill, you know, like the 1/2 with Magma Spray?
He might actually, because sometimes the games come down to hard casting Angel of Invention, and just Magma Spray being able to just exile it instead of put it back into the graveyard can be pretty crucial sometimes.
All right, let's take a look at the other side of things here. Here's Kiefer's deck list laid out for you, taking a look at the sideboard down at the bottom of the screen. What do you like here for him? I
definitely like the 2 other Sunscourge champions in this matchup, because as we saw in that first game, totally dynamite card against this very low to the ground red deck. And I think he actually might even bring in the Settle the Wreckage and the Thopter Arrest as well.
Just some more efficient removal.
Yeah, exactly. Cast out is probably more than he wants to pay for dealing with the Hazaret, but yeah, I definitely think he'll want to bring in that settle just to kind of have that extra angle to attack the red deck at.
And these Sunscourge champions, I'm very impressed with Kiefer having them in his deck. They were in addition to the God Pharaoh's Gift deck back when it kind of first appeared on the scene, and then they kind of left, and he's brought them back.
Yeah, they're back with a force too.
47% of the field or something like that playing Chain Whirler decks at this tournament. So a very smart addition on his part.
Yeah, and it's even possible that he might bring in these Angel of Sanctions as well, because they can definitely stop a Hazaret, they can stop every single threat in the red deck, and they dodge a Braid and Lightning Strike.
And they come back if they're somehow dealt with as well.
Yeah, exactly. And they're also great fodder to discard with Chart of Course or Champion of Wits.
Yeah, super hard for the red deck to be able to deal with something like that where, all right, I had to put in actually quite a bit of work to kill it in the first place because of the 4 toughness, and then they can just eternalize it?
Exactly.
Ugh. There's a look at our players here, the semifinals. Jack Kiefer battling his heart out here, trying to be the youngest player by a very slim margin to win a Grand Prix.
By a margin enough, though.
Yes.
So like we said earlier, Jack Kiefer has the possibility to be the youngest GP champion in history.
That is until Dana Fisher strips him of that title in a few years.
Or when you win your next GP, right?
Wow, sick burns. Pretty sure you're the baby on the coverage team this weekend, Andrew.
No, that was the compliment.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you look so great
I'm
today.
so young. Dana was playing in an RPTQ this weekend, by the way.
Oh, very cool,
It was
very
a
cool.
Team RPTQ, so congratulations to everybody who will be heading to Pro Tour 25th anniversary in Minneapolis coming up.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching Facebook, Twitter, just seeing all those teams who actually won and get to go to that awesome Team Pro Tour.
I know, it's going to be so much fun. Hometown Pro Tour for me as well, Minneapolis. Fantastic city.
Where's Minneapolis?
It's in Minnesota, one of the greatest states in our beautiful nation.
Which state?
Okay. All right. I get it. You
Just let me hear the accent once.
Minnesota.
Oh, that's just great.
That's just great. All right, our players drawing out their opening hands here for game number 2.
Yeah, this looks like a really, really tough decision here for Jack. He has a 1-lander, 2 ministers, a Chart of Course, and 2 Sunsurge champions. I think I would actually keep this hand.
Why?
Just because it's so close. If you do draw that land, your hand is so powerful against the mono red deck. But Jack does opt to mulligan, and I would definitely trust him because he has certainly showed himself to be an excellent pilot of this deck over the weekend.
And we talked about this a lot. Mulliganing decisions this weekend. And do you usually keep hands if you only need one land of any kind to make it great?
You mean just keeping 1-landers?
No. You would only need to draw 1 land.
Oh,
to make it great.
I mean, a lot of it depends on the matchup. Like,
sure.
It's possible that Jack thinks that his matchup is so good that he doesn't need to have like a marginal hand, where he can just have sort of a middle of the road 6 cards is better than his risky 1-lander.
Well, it looks like keeper. Well, this one's a keeper for
Jack
Kiefer.
Kiefer has a keeper.
Frank Carson in chat saying we have a 15-year-old Team GP winner back in 2004 in Chicago. All right.
I would totally believe that Frank Carson would know that.
He absolutely would. He knows most things.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Okay, quick start here for Bram Thomas here in Game 2. Earthshaker Kenra and a Bomat Courier. Courier already hoarding 2 pieces of mail under itself.
Yeah, this is the start that Bram Thomas really wants.
Ooh.
And again, just so much pressure coming down.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hitting Kiefer down to 11 already. This might be a quick one.
Yeah, and with Kiefer not having a turn to play, I definitely don't like his chances.
Yeah, search for Escanta here. Ugh. That is a bit too slow.
Definitely not what he's looking for here, but the silver lining is that Bram Thomas actually has missed his third land drop, so he is stuck on 2 lands currently.
But plenty of cards under that courier if he ever is in dire need of getting out from under this position. But Jack Kiefer is down to 6. Scrying that refurbish into the yard. All right, there is 4 lands and no play yet. Lightning strike going upstairs here for Thomas. Kiefer will be down to 3.
Yeah, I guess the only thing Jack Kiefer could really have here is that one Settle the Wreckage. And, you know, Bram Thomas does have access to Kiefer's deck list, so he could be worried about this theoretically. And as you can tell right now, he is contemplating playing around Settle the Wreckage here.
And Kiefer did not have it. He's just going to have to pack it in. We are all tied up here and going to game number 3. Mono red aggro just too much for white blue God Pharaoh's Gift to overcome in that game. So we are checking the numbers here on the Youngest Grand Prix winners. BDM doing some hard work behind the scenes. And we do still believe that Kiefer will be the youngest at 16 years old and 1 week to win an individual Grand Prix. We are reading between the lines. We're going by week. This is how we have to split it because there have been a number of 16-year-olds who have actually won individual Grand Prix. So we are cutting it down by the week here.
It was really interesting to see at the end of that game that Bram Thomas was actually playing around that one Settle the Wreckage in Jack Kiefer's sideboard.
Oh, it's only one?
There's only one, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I definitely like the way he played. He was super cautious till the end.
All right, back to the boards here for game number 3. Are you making any changes here if you're Kiefer, knowing you're going to be on the play?
No, I don't think so. Just got to really hope for a stronger hand. And if I'm Bram Thomas, the only thing I want to see in my opener is Scavenger Grounds or...
a braid.
A braid. Not a single braid, but like multiple braids.
Yes, yes.
Oh, do you get it?
I do.
Okay, great. It's also possible that with the extra land, Bram Thomas might feel comfortable bringing in more of those expensive red cards like Chandra and Glorybringer.
It's super interesting, the build of Mono Red, the particular build that Thomas has brought here this weekend too, because he's not playing any Rekindling Phoenixes.
Yeah, none to see in his entire deck list, and there's only 3 Hazoret and 1 Chandra in the main deck, with the extra Chandra and the Glorybringers in the sideboard. So yeah, this is probably the most aggressive version I have actually ever seen doing this well at a tournament.
Yeah, he is going lean and mean with this build of red.
Yeah, most people have started to cut down on the on-crop crasher, but Bram Thomas is playing the 4. Just
wow.
4 of on-crop crasher. Really doesn't want his opponents to block.
Hey, I'm all for that.
What do you mean all for that?
Blocking's the worst. Attacking's the best. Obviously.
Don't you want counterplay?
No. I'm going to get real with you. I want to attack my opponent's face with my creatures.
Do you want counterplay? I asked the Boggles player.
You now see your error. All right, here's a mulligan from Kiefer. Thomas is going to keep his opening 7.
Yeah, I got a quick look at Bram Thomas's opening hand. He had a Soulscar Mage. He had some, I think, what looked like an Abrade to me, but I'm not 100% sure.
All right, well, that is going to be an extremely important Abrade in this match, no doubt.
Yeah, and hopefully he can draw multiple braids.
You mean Braid's Cabal minion?
Everybody's giving me thumbs down for my jokes.
Slammed my head into the table very softly.
But during the Roman Empire, thumbs down was a good thing.
Was it? Not if you were fighting.
Who knows? Nobody was alive back then.
Minister of Inquiries here for Jack Kiefer, exactly how he wants to start this game. And Soulscar Mage here from Bram Thomas. We are underway here in Game 3 of our semifinals.
Oh, I like this.
All right, get in there, Minister.
Get in there, Minister. And
Bram's like, what?
What is going on right now?
I block?
There we go. Chart a course. Draw 2 cards.
Why.
There's the 2-mana divination. Oh, and
block. I block. Yeah, I block that.
I really like Jack Kiefer's hand too. He's got a Sunscourge champion next turn, and he has a Refurbish in his hand as well.
Nice. All right, here's the champion. Let's gain some life. Back up to 20.
And I also see that he has a strategic planning in his hand too. So
excellent.
Next turn he can filter his draw, hopefully bin a Godfarrow's Gift for that Refurbish in his hand.
And that 3 toughness on the Sunscourge champion is handy too in certain combat situations.
Definitely.
Right, on Crap Crasher, doesn't matter what your toughness is, you're not blocking here. Comes down for attack for 4.
Nice. Minister was the draw for Jack Kiefer. It looks like he's going to take a land here. I like that a lot because now he has access to kind of get that other Sunscourge champion from his graveyard while discarding, let's say, a Godfarrow's Gift or an Angel of Invention.
Sure. All right, so Minister number 2 enters play here for Jack Kiefer. Back over to Bram Thomas. Earthshaker Kenra here is the play. Champion cannot block. And there's a Magma Spray to send the Minister into exile. Attack. For another 4. Kiefer down to 12.
So I think here's one of the rare circumstances where I think Kiefer's just going to hardcast this Angel of Invention. I think Bram's down to 2 cards in his hand, and the Servos mode plus the +1/+1 to his team going to really shape the board here.
Yeah, I like that a lot. We do know the On-Crop Crasher coming off of Exert next turn.
But I don't think that matters too much because these Servos are just going to be able to block and trade with that On-Crop Crasher.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. Is there a way that Jack Kiefer is punished for making that play at all?
It's really hard for me to say because Bram Thomas did use that one Magma Spray and already used a Lightning Strike, so the chances that he has like more burn spells for this Angel are low. Well, it looks like he's going to go for... Okay.
All right, we're going to Eternalize here. Gain 4 life. Back up to 16. So now we have a 4/4 and a 2/3 back on D here for Kiefer.
Yeah, it's possible that he's just trying to bait out more removal spells on these less important Sunscourge champions.
And I mean, Thomas has already used 2 of his removal spells on creatures that Jack Kiefer, you know, honestly is probably pretty okay with.
Exactly.
Hazoret the Fervent for Bram Thomas. Here we go. On-Crop Crasher crashing on in. Earthshaker Kenra, Soulscar Mage, and Hazoret herself coming into the red zone. Oh, back it up. Bram Thomas rethinking this attack potentially.
Yeah, this is a very crucial moment here.
We are exerting the Crasher. The 4/4 champion cannot block.
I actually think Jack just goes for a block on the Soulscar Mage. There's no prowess. And if he plays that Angel of Invention next turn, the Servos can block that On-Crop Crasher. But there's also a lot of value in Jack actually getting that other Sunscourge champion into the graveyard.
Okay, so he did block the On-Crop Crasher trading. Champion heads to the graveyard. Life total falls to 8.
And I believe he drew a God Pharaoh's Gift.
All right, so here we go. Champion number 2 comes back from the dead as a 4-4. We're going to gain 4 life here. God Pharaoh's Gift into the graveyard, crucially. 2 cards in hand for Bram Thomas.
Oh my gosh, I believe he just drew in a braid.
Okay, so down goes the champion. In comes the team.
Tons of damage coming out here from Bram Thomas. I think Jack is going to elect to either... He's definitely not going to block the Hazoret, but it'll be interesting to see which creature he chooses to block. It's most likely going to be that Soulscar Mage. Really tough spot here.
This game has been very, very close. Jack Kiefer, it seems like, has just felt like he was one tiny step behind. Considering blocking the Soulscar Mage. And that's what it goes for.
Oh, and there's the Abrade.
There's the Abrade. All right, so here we go. No cards in hand left for Bram Thomas. Jack Kiefer falling to 4.
Yeah, I like this play. This Angel is going to go to the graveyard because he's definitely going to block that Hazoret. And then next turn he gets to slam that Refurbish and then bring that Angel back and attack for a huge life swing.
Okay, Bomat Courier was the draw here for Thomas. And here is that block that you talked about.
Yeah, I think he blocks the Soulscar Mage, blocks the Bomat Courier, and then chumps the Hazoret with his Angel. And then I think that puts him in a really good position.
All right, there we go. Angel on Hazoret, Servo on Soulscar Mage, and 1 on the Earthshaker Kenra.
Yeah, I guess I like blocking the Earthshaker Kenra too because this Servo now just gets to eat the Soulscar Mage if Bram Thomas wants to roll the dice on that card underneath the Bomat Courier. And plus, keep in mind, this Angel of Invention has lifelink, so even though Jack Kiefer will take 1 damage from the Bomat Courier, he'll gain 2 back, going to 5. And then on the next turn, he can play that God Pharaoh's Gift, bring back the Angel, make 2 more servos, attack for 4 in the air, lifelink haste.
Attention, Magic fans. If you are still hanging for another draft, turbo attacks are launching.
All right, here we go. Going to damage. Kiefer gaining life here from the Angel of Invention.
And that Soulscar Mage should hit the bin too. That should happen, right? Right, and I think the players are figuring that out right now.
All right, Judge stepping in to take a look here.
We have played a long day of Magic. And
yes, we have.
I know Marie and I have casted maybe, let's say, too many hour-long control matches.
That's what I would say. Yep, long day of Magic. Mistakes happen. I've said Soulscar Mage, Sunscourge Champion incorrectly about 500 times.
Yeah, don't worry, me too.
That's what I need to talk to you. You pass this message to your folks in R&D. What are with names that are unpronounceable? Come on.
That is the creative department.
I'll pass that message along to the creative department.
Yep, exactly. So the player's still kind of figuring out what's going on with the game state.
And yeah, looking at the game from what we know now and where we are, that aggressive use of a braid earlier, I mean, it might have seemed really important for Thomas at the time, but now we don't have access to it. God Pharaoh's Gift in play.
Yeah, and you know, Jack Kiefer can just keep putting his foot on the gas and he'll reanimate this Angel. Then he has access to the Minister of Inquiries. And Bram Thomas has left the table.
So he's going over to talk to one of our head judges here.
Yep, head judge Steven. I've known him for a very long time. Excellent judge.
You might recognize his voice if you've ever been to a Grand Prix. Announcing the rules for concessions and that sort of thing. Heading into day 2 and heading into the final rounds of Swiss. You may not flip a coin.
Or roll a die to determine the outcome of a match.
So our spotter's down on the floor telling us the mage, of course, dying for sure. Bram was about to receive a game rule violation for that, and he's discussing with the head judge that he thought the mage died and apparently misunderstood that Jack thought it didn't.
Gotcha.
So from your R&D perspective,
Mm-hmm.
how does it feel to be watching these games kind of play out here with our eagle's eye view from the commentator booth?
Well, I got to say it's actually kind of similar because normally when we're playing games in R&D, we try to be as transparent as possible with each other. So like after games, we'll say, oh, hey, what did you have in that spot? What could I have done differently? We like to kind of talk out the games and see how they would play out in the real world. And we don't really like to use what I call Hollywood tactics inside where it's like, I'm trying to bluff you.
Sure.
We're just trying to get as much information as fast as possible with our playtesting generally.
So this is the question that I bet a lot of people have is when you make that transition, you know, you're a professional player to working for R&D, does playing Magic kind of become a little more like work and not as fun anymore? Does that happen? Or is it just always fun? I don't know. Maybe it's some of column A, some of column B.
Generally, it's a lot of fun. Sometimes in draft playtests, like when you don't know the set and you kind of see the mechanics and you're a little flustered, and then your deck's really bad and you go 0-3. Maybe that's not the most fun experience.
Hey, that's me in every first draft of a format ever anyway.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of our standard playtesting is super fun. Everybody in play design is a strong Magic player, and I just love playing Magic so much. And even when and that's my favorite thing. I love it when my competition is like a strong player, and I love it when I can just learn things from playing games of Magic.
And you've got a bunch of your friends working with you as well. That must be pretty fun.
Yeah, we have taken a foot forward in hiring, and kind of they just happen to all be my friends. What can I say? It was an accident. No, it was a coincidence. Maybe it was neither.
How are you doing, by the way, on team play design in the Team Standard Super League?
Oh, we recently took a loss.
Oh.
Yes.
So sad to hear it.
Yeah, it's okay. But we will be playing for the 3rd place match coming up.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll be able to claim the bronze medal. Everything I've ever wanted.
You were reigning champions, though.
We were previously reigning champions in the Modern Super League. But I do not think we will be able to win the Standard Super League, unfortunately.
Who are you playing for 3rd place?
We don't know yet. It's either going to be the Stream Dream Team or, I believe, not Team Genesis, Team Channel Fireball.
Okay, so this is becoming a bit of a discussion down here between the judge and the player.
Do we have information on the other game right now?
Well, let me take a look here. They are shuffling up for game 3. And when they are ready to play, we will take a look at that. So they're just drawing their hands here for game number 3. I'll tie it up over there, of course. And let's go over here. Morgan McLaughlin on Black-Red Aggro versus Oliver 2 on Blue-Black Mid-Range. Bomat Courier kicking things off for McLaughlin. This looks a little familiar.
Yep, always the best start for the red deck. Turn 1 Bomat Courier. Let me get a card under there. Yep, as Morgan flips through his hand looks really strong. He's got lands, spells. He has a Lightning Strike for this turn and a Doomfall for next turn, followed by what looks like to be 2 Chandras as well. So this game's shaping up to be pretty good for Morgan McLaughlin.
Bomat Courier hits the red zone yet again here. Oliver 2. All right, there is land number 2.
Nice.
Thank you. No play yet. Back over to Morgan.
it's possible that Morgan just wanted to shoot that lightning strike upstairs, given how many cards this Bomat Courier is just going to be able to get underneath it.
Oh, yeah, I've never thought about that.
Yeah. Definitely with Bomat Courier, you just want to empty your hand as fast as possible so you can reap the rewards of the massive draw after it.
All right, Doomfall here from Morgan. We're going to take a look at Oliver's hand, who has a Doomfall of his own, Scarab God, Essence Scatter, and a Liliana.
Yeah, this looks excellent for Morgan right here, because I think he's most likely going to take that Doomfall here, which really stifles Oliver's next play.
Right. Yeah, Doomfall was the plan in the books here for 2, but that will not be what's about to happen, we believe.
Yeah, because, you know, when Morgan takes this Doomfall, it leaves Oliver with only Essence Scatter next turn, which leaves Morgan an opportunity to resolve a Chandra.
Yeah, not great. Not a great spot for 2 here, and we see that Chandra hiding out in Morgan's hand. Making sure to make notes on what Oliver's got in his hand as well.
Doomfall, just a great card in general. I do love all these modal cards, such as like Supreme Will, which was one of my favorite cards from Hour of Devastation.
Just being able to have that flexibility with the card, and both modes on this, super powerful too.
Yeah, you know, it can get rid of a Hazoret, it can get rid of Champion of Wits, and as we all know, exiling, very powerful effect in Standard right now.
It's cool that we're seeing this card too in such completely opposite decks here. Like in a very, very hard, aggressive deck here from Morgan, in a blue-black mid-range deck that is pretty good at playing the long game from 2. All right, well, he's going to go with the Liliana here.
Interesting. I think he thinks that since he has 2 Chandras in hand, that he's pretty free to just kind of let this other Doomfall resolve and then just slam that other Chandra.
Yeah, Oliver, too, getting some information from that Liliana being snatched out of his hand, too, no doubt.
Yeah, exactly. Also, with Morgan not taking the Essence Scatter, it kind of telegraphs to 2 that, you know, I probably have something that Essence Scatter is poor against in my hand.
And Essence Scatter, too, just kind of weaker against these really aggressive decks because they're just able to play a different creature.
Yeah. And especially when the permanent types get varied up, Chandra is a Planeswalker and cannot be hit by that Essence Scatter.
All right, we're taking a bit of time here. On this play, Oliver, too, really tanking hard here.
Yeah, I think he's deciding whether to hold up that Essence Scatter or just go for the Doomfall on Morgan's hand or on that Bomat Courier.
All right, here we go. Land number 3, and it is going to be Doomfall. But which one are we going to choose?
That's always my favorite part with these cards. Which one will it be?
I mean, I can see both. There's already 3 cards under that Bomat Courier, soon to be 4.
Oh, wow. And Oliver does go for that Bomat Courier.
All right, so Bomat Courier is exiled. Boom, here comes Chandra. Torch of Defiance for Morgan. And we are going to go upstairs with another 2 here to 2, down to 15.
Yeah, Oliver's really going to need to find something like Vraska's Contempt really soon, or else he's going to be in a world of hurt.
Gifted Aetherborn here for Oliver.
Definitely not the card he really wants to draw right now, as Chandra can
No.
just pick that off really easily.
Chandra doesn't even need to, it seems. We're going to plus, find a Doomfall.
Yeah, Doomfall.
There you go.
Pretty great here. I'm pretty sure Morgan's just going to cast this on creature mode. Because we do know that he also has a Lightning Strike still in his hand.
Yeah, this makes a pretty easy decision here.
Or he actually went for the Doomfall in his hand, get the Scarab God, and then finish off that Aetherborn with a Lightning Strike.
Either way, no wrong way to eat this Oreo, as Paul Rietzel would say. Down goes the Gifted Aetherborn
Is that really what Paul Rietzel would say?
Yeah, yes, on a few occasions.
Oh, okay.
Source of Spyglass here from 2.
Morgan has to reveal his hand here.
Here you go.
No, but that is probably one of the best cards Oliver could have drawn there, because now Morgan's hand is essentially just a 3/3 vanilla. Well, that hits him for 1. Ooh, that is a nice draw, though.
What was it?
It was a Hazaret.
Okay, so here's Chain Whirler. It's going to get hit with that Essence Scatter that we knew Oliver had in his hand.
But
boom!
Wow, the Scarab God off the top. That is a crazy good draw.
He could not have slammed that card fast enough. And here's Hazaret for Morgan.
But
with
yeah,
haste.
Oliver can just start reanimating Gifted Aetherborn, Goblin Chain Whirler.
Oh,
this looks...
what a draw.
Wow, that was incredible. This looks so good for Oliver right now. I guess he's debating on his upkeep which creature to get back, but they're both excellent choices. I mean, Gifted Aetherborn has lifelink, Goblin Chain Whirler has First Strike.
What a rip for Oliver, too.
Yeah, what a reversal, too. Because we thought Morgan was just in the driver's seat for the longest time after that Doomfall, but Sorcerer Spyglass into top deck the Scarab God.
Those were kind of the exact 2 cards that he needed.
Yeah, in perfect succession.
That's why he puts him in the deck.
Exactly.
Gifted Aetherborn here, reanimated with the Scarab God. We're going to scry to the bottom and draw.
And I think this Scarab God is just coming in, too.
Yep. Chandra sitting there doing nothing, as that's what the Spyglass is naming, by the way. And this looks very, very bad for McLaughlin.
Yeah, I don't think there's very many combinations of cards that can get him out of this. I guess a Braid? Let me take a quick peek at his deck list. Yes, he does have two a Braid in his deck, so it is entirely possible that he can draw a Braid, get that Sorcerer Spyglass, but it looks like he has drawn a Bomat Courier.
By the way, we will let you know what happens with our other match that we were watching earlier. Still pending resolved judge call.
I guess the card that Morgan kind of wants to draw the most here is probably just a straight removal spell, like Unlicensed Disintegration. But he currently does not have an artifact right now, so it would not be lethal. And every time he attacks with that Hazaret, he's just leaving himself open to this Gifted Aetherborn attacking.
So this is the update I've had from the floor. There is an investigation happening on Table A. We'll let you know when we know something. We're not going to go back there right now because there's no magic to show. We don't want to really speculate on what's going on. The judges are sorting out the match. So we'll stay here for a while.
Yeah, so this Hazaret just coming in hot. And I saw that Morgan actually discarded his other useless Chandra in his hand to make sure that this Hazaret can get in there. And with Oliver down to 8, it's entirely possible that Morgan could have drawn a Lightning Strike, but he did not.
Courier.
Pretty awkward spot for Morgan, too, since Oliver can just reanimate that Goblin Chain Whirler in Morgan's graveyard and then deal 1 damage to that Bomat Courier, too.
Tough spot here for both players. Morgan especially up against it now with that resolved Scarab God, Gifted Aetherborn here. Lifelink and Death Touch. And more activations on the way. Plenty of good stuff for the Scarab God to eat.
I don't think the Scarab God really eats it. I think he more repurposes it.
Sure. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so Goblin Chain Whirler is going to be the target this time. Come back, my beautiful goblin chain whirler. All right, we're going to double scry here, both to the bottom.
Wow, and I think that was a fatal push that Oliver drew there too. And he gets to attack for 9.
Wow. No cards left for Morgan.
Yeah, this Sorcerer Spyglass off the top, just pulling Oliver out of this game.
Morgan sitting here just thinking, what? I almost had it. Semifinals here, GP Pittsburgh. Oliver doing some math on the table.
Yeah, generally in these spots where you're where you're in a commanding lead, you just want to be as sure as possible that you're making the correct plays. I've been there before. I don't fault Oliver for taking a while on figuring out what to do after this.
No, you want to be triple sure in these spots.
Quadruple sure.
Absolutely. I remember when Seth Manfield won the Pro Tour, he had that blossoming defense in hand. And Ed didn't enter the battlefield about him. And he said, well, I wasn't trying to slow roll my buddy on playing it. I just wanted to check like 5 times to make sure I had it. You know, you wait your life for this moment. You don't want to mess it up. All right, so that swing there from the Etherborn tying our life totals up 7-7.
So I think Morgan's out here's are draw a braid the Spyglass, plus the Chandra into something else, but...
That is going to do it. Oliver, too, defeats Morgan McLaughlin. He is heading to the finals here at Grand Prix Pittsburgh with blue-black mid-range. Morgan McLaughlin, congratulations to him. A great run here, making it into our top 8, piloting black-red aggro. But yes, Oliver, too, on to the finals.
Very exciting stuff.
Blue-black mid-range, of course. The Scarab God, a card we saw quite a lot of in Standard. In fact, it was one that I was just like, oh, when am I not going to have to play against a Scarab God anymore? But then it went away for a while.
Yeah.
It kind of was nowhere to be seen. Now back on the scene. And you know what this is? It's not. I don't hate the Scarab God anymore.
Yeah,
I'm
you
fine
know,
with it.
When cards wax and wane, it's really cool to see that, cycle of Standard where something's good for 1 week, then something's good for another week. And like we're seeing this week with Argwell's Bloodfast being one of the key cards against most of the control decks and some of the slower black-red decks.
So, as we said, we are still waiting for a judge call to be resolved on our main match. So we will let you know when that has been updated, as it will put... we are in the 3rd game there. So it will put one of our players into the finals. So we'll have an update for you. When we do, we will let you know, of course. We're going to go to a commercial break right now. When we come back, more here from Grand Prix Pittsburgh. back to the booth here at Grand Prix Pittsburgh. Marie Bartholdi, joined by Andrew Brown of Magic Wizards of the Coast R&D. Treat to have you in the booth this weekend. It's been my first time paired with you, and it's been awesome to hear your R&D stories, kind of your insider angle. You talk about your life on the outside. Now you're on the inside. Insider knowledge.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to get your takes on some M19 cards too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we might have a chance to do that some more as well, because we are still waiting on the result of a judge call from our match we were watching earlier, which was in Game 3. Now, we may be able to bring you more of that match, but we are not sure yet. The judge call is still ongoing. There is an investigation happening, and we might have more information for you on that as well. There's a look down at our feature match area. Our players are seated once again. So it looks like they are still talking things over, though. Not quite resolved. A lot of people have gotten in on this action here to try and sort things out. We want to, of course, a clean top 8 here, so it's important that we make sure we have all the facts straight as the judges take a look.
And just to quickly recap this game, Bram Thomas has been has had his foot on the gas the entire time, putting Jack Kiefer on the back foot. Jack has resolved multiple Sunscourge champions and eternalized them as well, giving him that life buffer, but he has still fallen to 5 life. And on this crucial turn, he was able to resolve a refurbish, targeting this Godpharaoh's gift, and hopefully he can get an Angel of Invention into play and start swinging the race that way.
So yeah, Jack Kiefer, this is pretty crucial turn as well.
Yeah.
At 5 life, being able to finally get this Godpharaoh's gift into play, bring back that angel as you mentioned. Kind of pull up, stabilize, hold the baby, as Kenji would say.
Exactly. Hold the baby?
Yeah.
What?
Haven't you ever watched Kenji stream?
Occasionally.
Hold the baby.
Okay.
It's real. Someone put some emotes in chat.
All right.
But yeah, Bram Thomas really coming out of the gate strong, as you mentioned. Pressure on relentlessly in this game. Just killing creature after creature that Kiefer put on the board, even using a braid to take care of a Sunscourge champion.
So I believe this is going to be on Jack Kiefer's main phase, and I think Bram Thomas is gonna see if there is a braid underneath his Bomat Courier.
All right, are we back in action here?
I think we are.
Thank you for those emotes.
Oh
Jack.
my gosh!
There was! Unbelievable!
What?
Oh my god. And there is a lightning strike and a Hazoret attack, and there is the handshake.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Bram Thomas taking this match here over Jack Kiefer with a braid under the Bomat Courier.
That was amazing. That was the only card that could be underneath that Bomat Courier for Bram Thomas to take that game.
Wow, you see Jack Kiefer, what a hard loss to take here. We have seen some incredible haymakers so far in this top 8, and that is one of them, a braid. The only card that could have got him out of this situation underneath that Bomat Courier, and he had to take the chance, too.
Yeah, exactly. And it turned out to be the correct play. That is absolutely incredible.
All right, so there you have it. We are heading to our finals. Bram Thomas and Oliver 2 coming up in a few minutes. But first, let's take a look at our bracket so we can check how we got here to this place so far this weekend. There you look. At our quarterfinals, Bram Thomas versus Paul Dean. Thomas, of course, came out on top there. Jack Kiefer versus Zach Allen. Kiefer, the victor there. Scott Matthews, Oliver 2, victorious over Matthews and Morgan McLaughlin and Mike Sigrist. Morgan McLaughlin was victorious there. And then, of course, our semifinals, we just saw him shake out. And we are now headed for the finals. What do you think, Andrew, of this tournament so far this weekend?
Yeah, really awesome tournament. I think the big thing that we did learn is that this blue-black mid-range / control deck is definitely one of the big contenders against these mono-black and black-red Chain Whirler decks.
All right, well, the finals coming up in just a minute.